Alrighty. I think we're live. I think we're good to go. Wagwado Focarinos, thank you for tuning back in. Got us something a little bit different today. Preparing for Season 2 of the TMKup. And we have just begun the qualifying session for the two 20-minute races here at Paul Ricard. And drivers now exiting the pits. And we've got number 777 joining us today, the absolute legend that is Chico. I think he was rocking the purple Bentley, Joker-themed Bentley. But today we're in a matte black Bentley 777. We've got Dougie with us today in the number 14 Mercedes, and Magic Mike, of course, the absolute legend. In the 511 Brazilian themed liveried Ferrari. And we have Stuart joining us today in the number 46 iconic chrome orange and black Bentley. He's just going to be joining us for the one race today, as he's got some family things to deal with. Give some cuddles to his daughter. And Kent, the absolute legend, joining us from America in the number 88 Mercedes. I'm just popping this to my Discord real quick. TMK YouTube. Let's go. Okie doke. So, just under 10 minutes qualifying left to go. We see Ken just take that very, very fast right-hander. A little bit too hot there. It's a great track, very smooth, great camber. But I think I was in the Ferrari earlier and I was reaching 170 miles an hour. Where you don't really need to slam on the brakes, just a sort of touch of the brakes. And then that will give you enough momentum for the car to swing round. Okie doke, I think I'm good to go. And Raul, whether I pronounce that correctly or incorrectly, is in the number 9 BMW today. I've been driving the Lexus for quite a while. Can put some very fast lap times down when he wants to. And we have Hempy still in the pits at the moment, putting a pretty solid lap time down alongside Kobe in the number 7 Ferrari. So let's see what the guys can do. Looks like we've got a bit of a train going on here. I'm just going to stay on this view. There we go. Okie doke. And we make sure that's on mute, which it is. So we've got Anand, we've got Raul with a 157.387 in the number 9 BMW, and Dougie, the number 14 Mercedes, a 1.4 behind. We've got Chico just letting the 511 Ferrari of Magic Mike through. Still yet to put a qualifying time down. Get my camera ready for the photo. And Chico currently second on the grid, 1.6 behind Raul. I like saying that. And Kobe and Hempy still in the pits. Oh, they're starting from the back. That's why they said they're starting from the back. So yeah. That works. Yeah. Magic Mike. Let's jump on board with Magic Mike. Ooh, a little bit of a train going on. Camera set 2. Look how smooth this track is at Paul Ricard. Look at the camber. It all works for the driver. It's not like an excess of camber. But shall we say that the track works alongside the driver. And first position, so he is 1.4 ahead of Raul in the number 9 BMW. So that's Magic Mike taking first place on the first of the grid, meaning Dougie is on the first of the second row here at Paul Ricard. And Next Gen's Lager yet to put a time down, and now back in the pits making some adjustments, probably due to tyre pressures. We've got 5 minutes left to go. See whether he can get a time down before the qualifying session ends. We're doing a short and sweet race today. We've just got 2 20-minute races, 2 20-minute sprints. Keep the racing close and see whether it works for the TMKup Season 2, which we will be doing a tour of the circuits that are closest to the nationalities of the people that are racing. So, you know, England, Nürburgring, Zandar was one of them, I think. Kobe, me and Hempy starting at the back for the laughs. Daniel, Hemphill, Hempy, I'm being forced against my will to start from the back with Kobe. Well, I am looking forward to seeing what you guys can achieve with that. And Tony Montana sending love to Magic Mike in the 511 Ferrari, currently in P1 still. So we've got 3 minutes 20 seconds left to go. Magic Mike still in P1 with a 157.246. Raul first on the grid, in second position in the number 9 BMW. A new car, a new GT3 car that Raul is getting used to. As I mentioned previously, he has been driving the Lexus, been doing really well with it, can put some seriously fast lap times down. Obviously consistency is always a key. Next Gen Lager, Stewart now finishing his lap. So he's got enough time to get a lap time down. So let's see what he can provide on this run. So let's jump on board with the living and breathing legend. Now, I also love that dash. I think that's an awesome dash. I know you can change it, secondary dash display, but I really like that. Digital. And for those that are watching that are new to, I suppose myself, or even why Stuart is into the Bentley GT3 is because he went to Silverstone. Funny story, because I went to Silverstone to watch GT3, took the family, absolutely awesome experience, and I went to see it because I was getting into this, and obviously I love motorsport. And yeah, Stuart was telling me that when he went to Silverstone, he said that the roar of the Bentley, I can't remember exactly what he said line to line, but it's something like, you know, it gave him an erection, shall we say. Pure unadulterated Bentley porn. And so he's fell in love with the Bentley ever since, and he is now coming up to the close, start finish straight, dead ahead. Let's see where he comes on the leaderboard. And he crosses that start finish, and he has not put a lap time down. He must have exceeded track limits. Magic Mike with a 157.246, and Nunn still a 141 behind the magical of all Mikes. Yep, no, he's only going to be joining us for the one race. Obviously he's got to go give his daughter some cuddles in his hazmat. So Magic Mike's still out on track. Qualifying session is over. We are going to be kicking off with the first session, albeit a practice session, for the TMKup Season 2. See how this runs. 1 minute 40 left to go. We're going to see whether Magic Mike can capitalise again on a 157.159, pushing a Nunn over 2/10 off P1. Dougie on the first of the second row, side by side with Chico. And Kent in 5th position. And I'm wishing everyone all the best. I'm hoping we can get through the first lap and the first few corners safely. Magic Mike wanting to capitalise even more on that already quick 157, which he has done. Oh no, that's a Nunn. And Nunn's knocked Magic Mike off P1, so he's still on the first grid, but he's now in 2nd position. That's awesome. Congratulations to Raul there, taking the glorious position of P1, meaning Dougie's still in P3, Chico P4, so we're going to be jumping on board with the legend number 777, joining us from behind his own sim rig from South Africa. I believe I got that right. And yeah, again, I think that's what I love about this whole sim racing malarkey, because we're all across the world and we are all behind our sim rigs ready to race here at the Paul Ricard 2020 circuit. And Next Gen unable to put a lap time down, which means he's jumping on board with his general crew, Kobe and Hempy, at the rear of the grid. Now I'm not too sure on the start here, just changing the settings on the Elgato, but we will see. Usually we do have a full formation lap, but they may start, I'm not too sure. We will see, we will find out. Quick 20-minute sprint, which is why I'm unsure, because it does change the settings even though you leave them on. And I think we're going to be treated to a fantastic race today, and a Nunn just Raul able to just nip Mike in the bud right at the end of the session time there.
20 seconds.
Take a quick photo of that so we know what's what. 10 seconds left to go. We're waiting for these red lights to drop, and I don't know whether we're going to have a formation lap or it's going to be the green, 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 but we're literally about to find out. It looks like formation lap is underway. And Kobe followed by Hempy, followed by Next Gen's Lager, Stewart, the absolute legend, a lot of time for the man, and Kent in the Mercedes, putting in the graft that is the racecraft here on Assetto Corsa. And anyone that knows that's quick on this game, you've got to put them hours in. And obviously Paul the Helicam man joining us yet again for another incredible stream. Okie doke, so it looks like we are tread to a full formation lap, which is ideal. Jumping on board with Paul the Helicam man, it looks like MP getting a little bit too carried away with himself. He's going to have to reform and rejoin, getting the track corner names up for Paul Ricard. And it's all in a different language, so we will not be doing the corner names. But we've got the beautiful sights and sounds of the Paul Ricard and the GT3 class. Oil pumping close to 600 horsepower, and leading the pack is the BMW driven by Raul, who is also a new entrant to Next Gen's series that I commentate for on a Wednesday, and he is going to be continuing that journey with Next Gen, even with an eventful first race. But his intentions were pure. So it's great to have the number 777 Bentley back with us today, and it's going to be interesting to see how he can cope with drivers all across the world joining us today for the TMKup Season 2 test run. Paul Ricard, 2 20-minute sessions. And I'm going to be honest, my heartbeats are increasing, and I am getting very excited for this one. I think we're going to be tread to some very close battles. I think Hempy and Kobe making that decision to run at the back, and Next Gen's Lager, Stewart maybe not making a decision to run at the back, but not having the time to put qualifying lap time down. It'll be interesting to see how they cope. So it's quite a lengthy track here at Paul Ricard. And it looks like we are finally back round to the start-finish straight. We're waiting for those red lights to drop, and we get the green, green, green. It's a go, go, go. We've got Chico on the right side of Dougie, who was third position in qualifying. Kobe, Hempy, Stewart and Kent running in the rear. We've already had contact. Not too sure what's happened there, but nevertheless, that's given Chico a free run. Magic Mike, second position. We've got to wait for the Delta to update to 20-minute races. We did have a safety car in the first race, first season. I'm not sure whether that was a sign of perhaps we need it back for season 2, but this is why we're doing what we're doing with the test runs. We've now got Next Gen's Lager in the 46 Bentley from last to third, 0.6 away from the number 511 Ferrari. Meaning Kent taking 4th position. I bet he wasn't expecting this at the beginning of the race. Dougie in 5th position. I don't know exactly who was caught up in the fight, and Hempy now in 6th position. It looked like someone was on the inside line and the brakes weren't working. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know whether anyone can enlighten me in the chat. But we have a Nun from first. Oh, Hempy off again through. I can't have been Hempy off first. I'm not too sure who it was, but we have a Nun now in 6th position, just taking Hempy, running wide and the very fast corner, and Kobe literally in last position, and 18 minutes left to go. Let's see exactly what he is capable of here at Paul Ricard, as we now have a great fight for the fight for P1. Look at them go. We're very close to nearly being 3 wide. I think the Ferrari is coming up to side by side with the Bentley. Is he going to be the last of the late breakers? Next Gen's Lager looks like he's got the inside line on Magic. He is side by side, but Magic has the inside line. Is he able to hold on, or has the Bentley got the better run? They are side by side. Check this out. Chico, first position. Next Gen's Lager late on the brakes and has taken that position away from the Brazilian liveried 511 Ferrari. Well, dearie me, we've most certainly got some action, as P1 is now under pressure from Stewart in the 46 Bentley, so we might have to jump back on board with Stewart very quickly, but it looks like Dougie is going to take that position on Cubs. We've got the 2 Mercedes GT3s side by side now, coming up to the fastest section. We've got a Nun flashing his lights. Paul the Helicam man getting it all from above, that bird's eye view. He's taking that position from Cubs. Is he going to take that position from Dougie? Dougie's still able to hold on, making the most of the track width. He's going to get a warning for that, but it looks like a Nun is he going to be able to take that position from Dougie? My good God, what is going on here? And Stewart's just taken Chico. What's going on? I can't keep up. Now Magic in 3rd position, chasing the 777 Bentley, who has just been overtaken by his other fellow Bentley, the number 46 orange liveried, British liveried, shall I say, Bentley. And my good God, this is exactly what I was wanting, bar the start. I'm not exactly too sure what happened there, but we've got Magic Mike only half a second away from Chico. It looks like he's able to take that position away, so that means that Magic Mike has now got that run to hunt down the number 46, and a Nun now in 5th position, 4th position I think, just waiting for the Delta to update. He's taken that position away from the number 14 GT3 Mercedes. I need to take a drink, I can't. Got no moisture in my mouth. So we are 25% of the way through the TMKup Season 2 test at Paul Ricard, and it appears that Kobe's in the pits. Not too sure what's happened there. Hempy 2.2 seconds away from Dougie, who was overtaken by Anun, and they're all equally 1.5 seconds away, so we're going to have to see. Oh, Dougie just running a little bit wide there through the fastest section of Paul Ricard, and Anun chasing Chico in the 777 Bentley. Let's see what occurs here then as we're closing towards the halfway mark. Oh, is he going to get the run here? He's side by side. It looks like the BMW's got the run. Look at their gear changes. Side by side with the Bentley. He's got the inside line though, so what is going to happen here as they come towards turn 1? Paul Ricard, oh, Anun just backing off. Chico's still able to hold on to third position, still holding on to that medal, and that bronze. A .071 is the difference between these two right now. And we jump on board with the BMW M6. Let's see whether he gets a good run here. Magic Mike nearly 2 seconds away now from next gen's Stewart. Oh, Kobe with a stop and go penalty. Back out on track behind next gen Lager. That's beautiful. That's what I want to see. And Hempy in the pits. Hopefully we'll see him return for some more lols out on track here at Paul Ricard. And on .720, a 720 away from the Bentley. Kobe is in pursuit of the identical Ferrari from the Scandinavian Magic Mike. An absolute demon behind the wheel. But it looks like Stewart in the 46 Bentley is most certainly holding his own here. And I'll let you all into a little secret that are watching on board today. Stewart said this is a very slow track for him. But taking first position against some very quick dudes, I think perhaps says otherwise. But it looks like Anun has now taken that position away from Chico, but Chico is in slipstream range, and it looks like he's bringing it back just a touch. But is he able to take this corner well and take a 10th or 2 down? Well, it appears that Anun now in third position, 4.5 seconds away. And Hempy joining the fight. So I love it. We've got Stewart, Hempy, Kobe and Magic Mike now all in a battle for, let's call it, a provisional P1 time. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Are any of these drivers able to make anything happen, as someone, I think, just lost the rear end? We're coming out of the penultimate corner here at Paul Ricard. We've got Hempy chasing his fellow next-gen racer Kobe down. And Anyone watching knows that Hempy is an absolute living legend, being chased by another living legend from Scandinavia. And at the front of the pack, local to myself, we have Stuart, Next Gen's Lager, driving with his CSL Elite behind his Simrig from the UK. And it appears that these drivers are just in a little bit of a deadlock with each other. Next Gen's Lager is most certainly holding his own. Look how beautiful this is, though. We're definitely being treated to some closer racing. Oh, we've got GLR Seal. He'll be here for the next race. That's fantastic. If anyone is watching and they'd like to join in for the next race, we will be doing one more 20-minute race. Oh, Kobe right on, knocking on the back door of Stuart in the 46 Bentley. Looks like he's made up a car length or two, and Magic Mike and Hempy in equal position as they continue the hunt with only 8 minutes left to go. And a pit window open. Will anyone use the pit window? Probably not. Could always stick a pit window in there, perhaps. Oh, so Kobe is serving his stop and go penalty. And Hempy is now in a British and Scandinavian sandwich. I believe Hempy is also from the UK. If anyone in chat could let me know. I believe that's right. Hempy is British origin, and he's also chasing a fellow Brit in P1 as Magic Mike continues to hunt down the Lexus and Bentley. We've got Chico now in third position, and Dougie not too far behind at all, running a pretty solid race here. Raul, some good fun, but unfortunately running some damage. Let's have a look. Where are we? We're in the pits. We're repairing the damage. The invisible pit crew are working hard on the BMW with 6 minutes left to go. Fortunately, it was only a test, so there's no major dramas. Get back out on track with someone close by and have a good old scrap with only 6.5 minutes left to go. Magic Mike 3 seconds away from P1. Let's see what they can do with only 6 minutes left to go here for the TMKup Season 2 test. And we are here at Paul Ricard, and we had a little bit of an incident on T1 which changed the game a little bit, and Stuart went from last to first very quickly, and Raul has suffered some damage. Magic Mike being as patient as he possibly can in the Ferrari GT3 as that V8 twin turbo sings its Italian heart out down the longest start finish, sorry, not start finish, just longest straight here at Paul Ricard, and he's still in the hunt of Hempy. Hempy still unable to close the gap between Stuart in the chrome orange Bentley And we have the absolute legend, Neil the Seal. One of the GLR boys. And an absolute pleasure to see this gentleman on track with us today, helping us out with the Macabre Cup Season 2 test, and he is joining us from behind his sim rig, a CSL Elite, and he is joining us from Australia. So it's very, very early for this man. So big hats off to him. I do owe him some coffee beans, it must be said. So Stuart with a pretty comfortable lead, now gapping Magic Mike with 5 seconds, 3 minutes left to go, and then we're jumping straight back into the next race here at Paul Ricard. Hopefully we won't have any dramas, but we've been treated to some cracking side-by-side action, and Chico a 9.066 in third position as he continues to hunt down Magic Mike, as Stuart comes up to the fastest right-hand bend here at Paul Ricard, and masterfully keeping the balance and the suspension at work to maximize both grip and turning angles, and to be able to apply the acceleration as early as possible. It's always interesting to see the lines that people take. It's very interesting how different people drive. It's most certainly not the same at all. As the 46 Bentley makes his way under the start-finish straight here at Paul Ricard and crosses that start-finish line, we can just see the hazy 511 Ferrari still hunting down Stuart, but unable to make anything happen, and Stuart now gapping him by another 0.3 of a second. Just under 2 minutes left to go, and we are jumping straight into race number 2. So we've got Chico in third position, Magic Mike 6 seconds in pursuit of Stuart, and the Ferrari in a Bentley sandwich, and 10 seconds is the distance between Chico and Magic Mike. And Dougie running a very solid race in the number 14 GT3 Mercedes. And only 4 seconds behind, but with only 60 seconds left to go, it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be coming to an end. Hempy taking home 5th position, and Kobe with an unfortunate turn of events. And also being in pursuit of Neil the Seal in the identical Ferrari. Both going for the same liveries. But I do think Neil the Seal's looks better. Sorry, Kobe. And so with 20 seconds left to go, we just also get the call. For the final lap, 2 seconds, 1 second, and big bad boom, we are over, and it is a case of the number 46 Bentley bringing it home. As we continue to stay on board, was the Ferrari chases down the other Ferrari, as they now enter their way into the very fast right-hand bend of Paul Ricard. Kobe running as wide as he can, making the most of the track limits here at the very beautiful and smooth Paul Ricard. Seal is in with a chance of maybe just nipping Kobe with 3 corners left to go, but I'm not sure whether it's going to be able to happen. As we come up to the final 2 corners, not sure whether that'll be an end for them. I believe it will. And Magic Mike now 6.6 behind Stewart in the very quick 46 Bentley, and they still have another lap. Yes, they do. Oh, Kobe looks like he could very well take Hempy, only a 1/10 of a second away from ruining Hempy's night. Look how close they are. The Ferrari's front splitter is just touching the rear splitter almost. Only a pixel. Oh, look at this. 46 Bentley taking home P1, Magic Mike taking home P2, and Hempy just taking that position away again from Kobe in the number 7 Ferrari, and the 777 Bentley taking him 3rd position, meaning Dougie giving us a flash. What a legend in the number 14 Mercedes GT3, as Hempy still in pursuit of the Lexus is the number 7 Ferrari, running as wide as he can. He might lose the position here. If he loses it to Neil the Seal, looks like he's just been able to hold on there, and Neil the Seal is the one that's just lost it. So we've still got 2.5 minutes of a pit window left open with the final lap underway, and it's going to be a case of jumping into the second race. And what a pleasure it is to have Neil the Seal with us, and what a race we have here with Kobe and Hempy. Whether they'll put a lap time in, a qualifying lap time down, I don't know. We're playing a little bit of Wreckfest. Kobe's took Hempy out. Oh dear. Oh yeah, I want to know what he thinks of that in chat. That's I like it. So that means Next Gen Lager, Magic Mike, Chico, Dougie in 4th position, followed by Kobe, Hempy, and Raul, Neil, and Kent in 9th position, who I believe has left. But that brings this session to a close. So it will be a case of running on to the next session. If it's going to start. Just having a quick look at my G portal. Yeah, I'm not too sure how long it's going to take. I think it's quicker for me to just restart. So we're going to and there we go. So we're just going to quickly sort out this lobby, and we're going to get back online. So we are good to go. So that's bringing us on to race number 2, our final race here, a 20-minute sprint, and hopefully we'll get a good first start on this race. Kobe first to join us. Is he going to get out on track? Raising the suspension. And for anyone watching that's interested in joining us later, there's going to be quite a few of us, I think, on Drift X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least maybe a good 7 of us perhaps. Hempy joining us. And as we wait for the rest of the drivers, number 777. Oh, and number 37, Austin Martin, hey? Who's this?
Green light, give us all you can.
That's Dougie bringing out the Austin Martin for race 2. Now that's something I think that I quite like. So we've got 11 minutes of qualifying left to go. Not sure whether Kobe and Hempy are going to qualify, or whether they're just going to get out on track and just not put a lap time down. I don't know. Magic Mike joining us in the Ferrari, and Raul in the number 9 BMW. Here on track first to leave is Raul in the number 9 BMW GT3 weapon, and Dougie also. Listen to the roar of these engines. And the Lexus, completely different sound. Very closely related to the real-life sound. And a Bentley not out on track. Lexus, BMW, Austin Martin. This is going to sound beautiful, surely. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful is the Austin Martin, and of course we can't forget the Italian-made Ferrari, the prancing horse. And Hempy also out on track, gonna put in a qualifying time down, not wanting to stay idle in the pits and making the decision to get out and make the most of his time here at Paul Ricard. And no drivers have got a initial lap time down yet. But Hempy is first. Well, maybe not first actually, but he's crossing the start-finish line, so that's his out lap completed up to T1. Just clipping the apex, getting as much of an angle as he can, keeping that Lexus as stable as he can. And again, the track, I mean, you can just sort of see, we just sort of dip a little bit here, very smooth, tiny little bit of camber, another tiny little bit of camber. That's always working towards the driver's benefit, and you can probably also tell whether you're watching on mobile, the width of this track is substantial. So, you know, it's obviously we have the F1 that come here, so, you know, it's meant to have the wider tracks, but then that means that gives us a little bit more space to hopefully not have any knocks and bangs. So we've got number 9, Raul. Coming up to the penultimate corner here at Paul Ricard for the second race of the TMKup Season 2 test. And he has completed his outlap. He's going to be putting a lap time down. What is he going to be doing? He's going to 156.8. Now that's a quick lap time, because I think in the last session it was 157 if I'm not mistaken. A 157.1. So that means Raul is now in first position. Dougie taking home second position, first on the grid. And next across the line is the legend that lives, Hempy. And he crosses that start finish. Where is he going to be? First, second, or third? He's put in second position, not even half a tenth away from P1, but that puts him firmly on the first of the grids here at Paul Ricard. And with only 5 minutes left to go, we're most certainly going to be treat to a race indeed. And Neil the Seal just joining us. I think he must have needed the password. Magic Mike with a 156.223. Jeez, that's 9/10 quicker than Raul in the BMW GT3. And Raul is doing very well in the BMW. It's a new car that he's getting to grips with. And again, for everyone that plays this game, everyone that knows the game, each car makes a colossal difference. To driver input. And a none, knocking Magic Mike off a 0.024. We're going to be tread to a cracker of a race, and we've only got 4 minutes to go until it happens. So this is absolutely fantastic. I am very much looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward to the second race. Hopefully we'll get a decent start, and we'll be tread to some very close racing. Obviously number 46 Bentley has had to leave. Look after his little daughter, bless him. And Magic Mike, second position, is going to have to work hard, putting Hempy 0.6 away from Raul in the number 9 Bentley. Kobe deciding to stay in the pits. Chico's still in the pits. And Seal making the most of his time out on track. And Magic Mike unable to capitalise on his P2. Still first on the grid, and second on the grid is Hempy and Dougie, currently in the pits with the King's Meat Snacks livered Austin Martin. And of course Neil the Seal in the awesome looking number 55 Ferrari. It looks like Hempy is joining the show. Was that Hempy? Or was that Anon? I'm not sure. Either way, Hempy crossing the line. Outlap completed. Neil the Seal, I'm not sure if he's on an outlap. No time as of yet. So Neil the Seal is still yet to put a lap time down, which has still got time to put a good 2 laps left, I'd say, before we begin the final 20-minute sprint here at Paul Ricard. And I'm very excited for this one. Fingers crossed, we are tread to a clean start. Okie dokie, so qualifying session is over. We've got a max time of 1 minute 30, which means the driver's left on track. Number 55 is not able to put lap time down. Sorry, he is. Number 99, Hempy's still able. Only a 0.3 now, so he's capitalised on 0.3 of a second in the last lap or two. Number 511, what's he doing? He's side by side waiting to go into the pits. And number 99 Hempy, followed by the number 55, both able to capitalise here. Is Seal able to knock Hempy off P3, or is he able to capitalise on his 2.7 from Anun's Raoul, number 9 BMW, taking home first position, which I'm sure he'll be very grateful for, as Hempy now crosses the penultimate corner here at Paul Ricard. Can he capitalise? Is he going to knock Magic Mike off P2 or P1? Yes, he is! A 156.130. And Neil the Seal. 1 second! Incredible work here by all drivers, and Kobe and Chico deciding to take the last to first challenge. We'll see exactly how they can do and what will arrive as the race will begin to be underway, which means of course we jump on board with Neil the Seal and Hempy. Take a quick photo with a 156.130, putting Raoul second position, first on the grid, and actually giving him favourable position for turn 1. Not even a tenth separates the top 3 running pack as we now teleport to the start finish straight here at Paul Ricard for the final 20-minute sprint of the Macabre Cup Season 2 test. And we are doing a GT3 tour of all the drivers, and our tracks that are closest to each driver is where we're going to be racing for the Macabre Cup Season 2. If we have another incident in this race, we're going to be doing a safety car, but I've decided not to do that this time.
30 seconds.
But we will see exactly how that progresses. But Hempy just absolutely blowing the top running pack off the water, and like I mentioned earlier, Raoul in the number 9 BMW, absolute legend, lovely guy.
10 seconds.
Also joining the Wednesdays stream that I commentate for Next Gen. Very, very cracking, close, competitive racing with the hour races that they have. But it looks like the red lights have dropped and we have the green light for the formation lap. Here at Paul Ricard. And I will be back in 2 seconds. Okie dokie, boosh, wokey pokey. So, fingers crossed for the start of the second round. And it's an interesting one because oh God, I always love these sites. I'm considering doing shorter races for the TMKup Season 2. So having shorter sprints will be interesting because obviously that would change points, or whether we take an overall positions, add them together, or whether we take the points per race. I think it just creates a little bit more variability. But I do like the shorter races. Hope we are going to be tread to some awesome racing here today for the final race here at Paul Ricard. And anyone who would like to join in Drift X later this evening on whatever console across platform, I'm absolutely loving that. I'm going to be online on Wheel. Magic Mike will be joining us, maybe Neil the Seal. I think Kobe has also got it. Frankin, Chico, Kazi, Anthony, and maybe a couple of others in an open lobby. So you're all welcome to join if you have the game. But it looks as though we're coming up to the penultimate corner of Paul Ricard, and Chico taking up the rear of the pack. No, we're not at the penultimate corner yet. We're maybe even halfway through. Okie doke. Thank you, Malus. I appreciate that, brother. So we're coming up to the start, finish straight of the final race here for the TMKup Season 2, and we get the green. We've got Hempy leading on the front. We've got Kobe decided to taking the rear of the pack. We've got Neil the Seal pushed to the outside line. He's gone right to the end. And none side by side with Magic Mike. Oh, we've had more contact. Chico and Kobe, meaning Gillard Racer ahead of Seal in 4th position. Whoa. So we've had another turn of events. I think okay. Safety car. A 0.666 is Seal away from the fellow GLR Racer, and Kobe a 0.7 away from Chico. Still in the last position. Going to be put under tests now with just under 19 minutes left to go. A Magic Mike and Anuna side by side as they continue to chase down the P1 of Hempy, and we can see the battle for P4 between Dougie and Seal. Dougie just running a little bit wide there, and Anun taking 3rd position, but still very close behind the 511 Chrome Brazilian liveried Ferrari. And it looks like Magic Mike is doing a pretty decent job here of keeping up with the very quick lap time of Hempy as they come up to, oh, it looks like he's running a little bit wide there. Is he able to get back on the gas in time? Is he able to keep it wide? Is he able to maximise on track width? That looked like a pretty solid corner there, pretty solid exit, maybe just within slipstream range, but it looks as though that Ferrari is actually just beginning to pull away. As the cameraman gets all of those drivers in shot, we've got GLR Seal taking position of Dougie. Dougie now a 2nd behind the number 55 Ferrari, and Chico now overtaken by Kobe. Kobe only a 2.8 seconds away from Dougie. We're going to keep an eye on the 2.8 second there, but we're a 0.8 and a 0.9 as the fight for P1 and 2 continues. He's jump on board with here, Kobe 2.8. Oh, look at how beautiful this is. Oh, it's a shame that we've had another incident. I think that says that a safety car might have to happen. Maybe I have to use my controller, but nevertheless, the show must go on, and Kobe is most certainly showing his skills now. Only a 1.5 away from P5, which means if he can take P5 away from the 37 Aston Martin, he'll be in the hunt for P4. But I think he's got an incredible amount of work to catch up with this front running pack, all putting very fast lap times down. Hempy's still able to hold on to the lead. Kobe 1.6. Looking like they're both taking very smooth lines, but I can tell you what, the pressure is going to be on with these guys. I know Hempy's just jumped on board with regards to that qualifying session and came out last lap taking P1 away from Magic and Raul, and still able to hold on P1 as they come up to the turn 1 at Paul Ricard. We still have, it looks like Hempy is able to just gap the Ferrari by 10,000ths of a 10,000th at a time, and none, still only a second away. Oh, what's happened here? Seal in 6th position, Kobe now taking 5th, and now up the rear of Dougie, 7 seconds behind the leading pack as they come up to the very fast straight section. Is he able to get that slipstream that he needs as he continues to hunt down the 37 Aston Martin here at Paul Ricard, and unknown still 1.1 seconds away from Magic. Magic taking 0.2 of a second back off Hempy, and Kobe able to take that position from Dougie in the Aston Martin. Kobe is most certainly showing us his racing prowess here at the final race of the TMKup Season 2 test. And Magic still able to hold on to that 0.2 that he's gained. And none 1.6 away from Magic. They're all very, very close to each other. Racer only a 1.114. Definitely just waiting for the Delta to update there, but they are crossing the start-finish straight with just under 14 minutes left to go here at Paul Ricard. And Kobe was 7 seconds, now only 6.5 seconds behind Unknown, who seems to be dropping off the pace between the BMW and the Ferrari. The Ferrari losing another 10th, but Unknown losing another 4/10, which means Kobe will be nearly 6 seconds, under 6 seconds, a 5.756. Kobe might take a podium position here with 13 minutes left to go, but can he make it happen? Well, 13 minutes left to go. Can he make that deficit of 5.7 seconds? And look, we still have a fantastic fight here for the fight for P1 between Hempy and Magic Mike, and none still within the shot of taking P2 away from Magic Mike. We've still got a very healthy 13 minutes left to go. Magic Mike just losing it on the fastest corner, which means and none able to capitalize, taking P2 from Magic Mike. Oh no, which means Kobe now coming past the Ferrari, not able to come past the Ferrari, but is he going to be able to actually make that position? Yes, he is. Magic Mike making sure he gets as best of a run as he can as he comes up to the next section of corners that he's traversing, which means that Dougie is now right behind Magic Mike here at Paul Ricard. What an incredible turn of events. And Kobe able to capitalise on a few seconds. I think he maybe he had a incident, but now I think it was 6 seconds, now 4 seconds, as he now hunts down Neil the Seal from Australia as the South African chases down the American from the 37, Austin Martin, who chases down the Scandinavian Magic Mike, now in 5th position in hunt of Dougie. What's going on? That's a very unfortunate turn of events for Magic Mike, but that means Kobe is now in within chance of P2. And it looks like Magic's made that happen on the Austin Martin, or whether Dougie was just allowing Magic Mike to go through, because they do race a lot. They do know each other's pace. And Paul the Helicam man doing another cracking job as we watch the Austin Martin chase down that Brazilian chrome liveried Ferrari. And Hempy 5 seconds of a gap now since Magic has had that unfortunate spin out and is coming up to that very dangerous section yet again. I think he's going to be tentative. He's going to be tentative there, but fortunately able to hold on to the power horse of the Ferrari, close to 600 horsepower, as we watch the American driver Dougie chase down the Scandinavian Magic Mike. Only 0.8 behind, and Seal only just behind Dougie. So that means so Kobe now only have 4.4 seconds. So we're halfway through the final race here of the 20-minute sprint. And Kobe 4.4 seconds away from Raul, who are now also competitors in the Next Gen series. Kobe actually doing very well in the Next Gen series, and I believe won his first race 3-4 weeks ago. So he is most certainly up and coming in the world of sim racing, as we jump on board with the dash of the Ferrari of Kobe. And Neil the Seal, another 1.666. And Neil the Seal is most certainly summoning the devil today as he races for the TMKup Season 2 test. And Kobe with a drive-through. Kobe stung with a drive-through penalty. Oh no, but nevertheless, Kobe has shown his racing credentials. He doesn't necessarily need to take the drive-through penalty if he wants to stay out. It is just a laugh. He can stay out if he wants to, but we'll see what he decides to do. Let's see whether he decides to do that, or whether he's going to continue the hunt for Unknown, which I hope he does, because he is now only a 3.7 second away from the very quick Unknown, who was knocked off first position by Hempy in the qualifying session. Hempy with a 156.1, and Nunn only 0.069 away from Hempy. Not even 56.2 of the qualifying time. But as we continue to watch the number 7 Ferrari chase down the number 9 BMW, it now another second knocked off. Let's hope he stays out. Let's not worry about the drive-through penalty. We've got 7 minutes left to go. As long as it doesn't chuck him out. We've now got Seal only 0.6. And Magic Mike just looks like he's taking it a little bit easier now, as GLR Racer only a 1.7 away from the very quick number 55 Ferrari. But that now means that Chico coming back in for the shout, very close behind the Australian Neil the Seal in the number 55 Ferrari, driving the CSL Elite, and I believe it's the McLaren wheel from Australia, and Chico from South Africa chasing down Dougie from America, going sideways Tokyo Drift style, which means Neil the Seal is going to be hot on his heels, and it looks like he's put under another little bit of pressure yet again. Is Seal able to capitalize? Kobe only a 1.9 away from P2. And Neil the Seal, the Australian driver, taking that position away from Dougie, the American Austin Martin. Number 37 car. Is he able to capitalize here though, or can the Austin Martin get a good run out? We will have to see. Kobe only under half a second as he chases down Raul in the BMW GT3. We've got the Ferrari and BMW 2 Class Acts. We're going to be able to see the two different driving styles come into play now. He's going to be in his slipstream. Is he going to go defensive? It looks like he's absolutely got defensive. And none on the defensive line, but Kobe with a slingshot, but no more toe anymore, which means that... Oh, I can't see! And none not able to hold onto that position, but there they go through the fastest corner of Paul Ricard. Kobe taking that position, P2. Yes, we have a DT, but nevertheless the driving credibility is coming through for the young Kobe from Deutschland, Dutch. And racer Chico only a 0.8 of a second away from Dougie. Is he able to capitalize? And none, a 0.072. And Hempy just loving life. And Kobe going into the pits. He's proved what he wanted to prove. And Anun is a very quick dude. Second position here. And it just goes to show you the level of drivers that we have with us today. And Chico jumping on board with Chico as he continues to hunt down the American GLR. Oh, 5 seconds now. Oh no. Coming just behind Kobe, who's served his penalty. And we've got 3 minutes left to go, and I think 20 minutes is actually still a pretty decent time. Might have to be 3. So Hempy up in first position, 3 minutes left to go. Taking home a very comfortable first position here for the TMKup Season 2 test at Paul Ricard in the Lexus GT3. Penultimate corner, unleashing all 600 horsepower plus down that start finish straight. We're going to hear the pit walls reverberation come into effect, and it most certainly is, because I can't hear myself think. What a beautiful sound. And exiting the pit walls up to the braking section of T1. Let's see how he manoeuvres his way through Paul Ricard, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Next Gen boys are at Paul Ricard on Wednesday. I will be commentating for the Next Gen team on Wednesday. Race qualifying starts 22:08 UK time, although I stream at 22:07 UK time. No commentary until 22:08 where qualifying starts, and then we are underway with a 1-hour race after a 20-minute qualifying session. But congrats to Hempy and Anun, only 10 seconds away from Hempy, who's run a very solid race here for the TMKup Season 2 test. And of course, giving some love to Anun in the BMW. Wow, that looks awesome inside. That's huge. Oh wow, I like that. I've never actually driven this car. It's the one I haven't driven, and that looks quite interesting for a cockpit driver and whatnot. Looks like you see a fair bit amount of the road, which is ideal. But he is taking second position for the second race of the TMKup Season 2 here today.
Alright man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final.
Okie dokie, so Hempy crossing that start-finish straight, which means that Anun Raul will also be crossing that start-finish straight, and yes he is, as he roars his way past that start, the pit walls. And we've got Magic Mike, who's worked his way back up to P3 podium position, and Dougie in my favourite position, P4, who looks like he is under pressure and in the hunt with... Whoa, what's going on here? From Kobe, which he is, and Chico just behind. Is Kobe able to do anything on the last lap to the American GLR racer? It looks like he's going to take that position. He's going to go side by side. Is he able to make it stick, or can the Aston Martin bring that back? He's going to go for the switchback, it looks like, but the corner's turned back in on himself, and the number 7 Ferrari has been able to close the Aston Martin off. But the Aston Martin has another chance here, slipping into the slipstream of the number 7 Ferrari. And what a pleasure it is to have Kobe on board with the TMKup test race, as he takes that position and is now in my favourite position, P4, putting Dougie in P5. Chico, the absolute legend, what a pleasure it is to see him again. Always great energy. In P6 and P7 we have the Australian legend, gentleman, Neil the Seal, and Hempy coming up to the final two penultimate corners here of the TMKup Season 2 test at Paul Ricard GT3 Tour, in which we will be doing the race courses closest to our nationality and location of the races involved. And congratulations, well done, thank you for the flash, Hempy, I appreciate that. Let's give us a handbrake turn. And Anun taking P2 with a flash. Congratulations to Anun. Let me see a handbrake turn. And Magic Mike taking home P3. Congratulations to you, sir. Let me see a handbrake turn. And Kobe next to cross that start finish straight. Do we get a flash? He takes home my favourite position, P4, followed by the American legend Dougie in the 37 Aston Martin, and the South African 777 Chico, followed by Neil the Seal. Let's hope some of the drivers are going to treat us to some celebratory donuts as we wait for the number 55 to cross that start finish line, which he has. And there we go. So we've got Anon giving us some donuts. Absolute legend. Hempy stuck in the wall. Magic Mike. Hey. And Chico in the background as well. What an absolute living legend. You see, this is why I love these folks. Everyone in the TMKup, they're all just living legends, living, breathing legends. And it appears that Magic Mike is making the most of his money's worth of the Pirelli softs that we use for the GT3 class. Or I think he could actually be getting ready for Drift X, that we will be going on now. Hempy in the pits. And Chico. Still with the donuts. So Hempy in first position, and none taking P2, Magic Mike with P3, Kobe showing us an absolutely incredible performance, even with a drive-through penalty, be able to take home P4, only 10 seconds away from the very quick Magic Mike, who had a very unfortunate accident, or rather a little bit of a spin with the rear end came a little bit loose on the very fast right-hand bend of Paul Ricard. And we have Dougie in P5, Chico in P6, and Seal in P7. So that brings the Macabre Cup Season 2 test to an end, and we will be streaming Drift X now with an open lobby, and we hope to see you there. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.